I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown. It's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm a mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly dis, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
All right, it's Tuesday. Check this out. There's a story here that we should be checking out here. It's about Donald Trump today. Donald Trump in the news with the cannabis. Cannabis stocks soar after Trump shares video promoting drugs use for seniors. The video on Truth Social touts CBD as a game changer and promotes Medicaid coverage of CBD products. Well, they're on a high, these cannabis stocks. Get it? There's Jim Miller. Jim Miller loves when I start the show with a Trump story. Jim, you love when I start with a Trump story, don't you? Isn't this the best? Well, it's this. This is the story. Let me repeat it. Hold on. You have echo. I know. Don't even say it. Okay, gotcha. And you have background noise. So, Jim, listen to this. Cannabis stocks soar after Trump shares a video promoting the use for seniors and touting CBD as a game changer, promoting Medicaid coverage for CBD products.
Yeah, I don't know, that's like shameless, really. I mean, okay, I don't get high, so I don't want anybody else to get high, but if it can help without getting you high, I'm for it. And I don't like that. Gotta say.
I'm looking for the video.
It's part of campaigning. First of all, if you say the two words together in this order, Trump says, I naturally have a barrier that tunes it out. Thing is, it's not rose-colored glasses. The opposite. It's like it's so opaque because it'll change. It won't be true. It'll be just it's not going to be the same. It's like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football. Eventually, you hope Lucy's going to leave it there for him to kick. It's like you hope Taco just doesn't chicken out one time, you know, and actually stick with something. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm more. I mean, that's concerning. That's a good sign, but really, what has he said before being elected that held true after, other than, you know, like immigration and borders? You know, I mean, being tough on stuff, not smart, tough. You know, it's tough. A rock, but I don't want a rock making decisions for me either. If it could, I mean, if that's possible. And I don't know. Well, Trump said, "Get the fuck out, man." Go ahead,
I know you love when I start the show with the Trump story. I just know you love that. So
No, I have heard that, and it's I like that it challenges Democrats to say something. Is what I like about it. Not because he said it, but it's because you can let him get away with that. He's trying to co-opt that. That's all it is. He's just trying to co-opt it. So, on the other hand,
is this it? Yeah, this.
Well, we got to find out who. We don't have any idea who will be running against him either. If you know. However, wait a second. Then that means that if he really meant that, or for now, let's say when he pretends to really mean it, or maybe he believes he means it, I don't know. But when that happens, the only good that really does is to get on Republicans, like we don't have any senators, we have Republican congressional representatives from New Jersey. They should be asked if they agree with that. And then we should ask the state Republicans, do they agree with that? You know, I mean, because that's all it's good for as a wedge.
Yeah,
And,
here, Jim, I'll play the video. You can decide for yourself here.
You can revolutionize senior health care.
we're trying. Yeah, she's a senior.
We've all heard about the major systems in our bodies, like the digestive, respiratory, nervous, and cardiovascular systems. But there's one essential system discovered in the 90s that you probably never heard of. It makes all of the other systems work smoothly with each other. Like a conductor, ensuring the different sections of an orchestra all play a beautiful symphony together.
I like air traffic
This system
control.
is called the endocannabinoid system. It has been acknowledged and studied by scientists extensively with support from the National Institutes of Health. As we age, the system weakens. As a result, the different systems in our body stop working together smoothly. That's one of the reasons older adults struggle with pain, inflammation, cognitive decline, and other ailments of aging, for which doctors often prescribe dangerous and addictive pharmaceuticals. They also recommend lifestyle remedies, such as exercise, good diet, and stress management. And while all these improve the system, it is only fractionally and over a long time. But here's the game changer. The system can be restored faster using hemp-derived CBD. When the system is restored, pain subsides, sleep is improved, and stress is reduced. When the system is restored, disease progression can slow down, and years are added to your life, as well as years spent in good health. And 20% of seniors are already using CBD today for pain, arthritis, cancer symptoms, sleep disorders, Alzheimer's, and many other ailments of aging. But doctors are not equipped to provide guidance, and there are no FDA standards for what is already in the market today. Imagine if that were the case.
Are they going to say the word cannabis anywhere?
Older adults are suffering
What's that?
needlessly. Hemp-derived CBD can help them feel better,
Hemp.
live
Hemp.
longer, and improve their quality of life significantly.
A PricewaterhouseCoopers report estimates annual cost savings for the U.S. nearly $64 billion a year
Is that right?
if cannabis is fully
We can
integrated
trust you.
into the healthcare
He
system.
said cannabis.
The groundbreaking
Good for
2018
him.
Farm Bill, championed
Somebody
by
has
President Trump, was the first step. Now it's time to educate doctors on the endocannabinoid system, provide Medicare coverage for CBD, and give millions of seniors the support they deserve. You will deliver the most important senior health initiative of the century, cementing your legacy and transforming aging care. Millions everywhere will thank you.
Well, ain't that something?
Yeah, it is, and I don't like it.
Democrats, you're up. What are you going to give us now?
It's basically that's good in CBD. But see, the thing, if I'm not mistaken, and I am a lot about certain things because so many people know more when it comes to cannabis now, I'm talking about. But it used to be that it needs a certain amount of THC to work, like CBD in and of itself with absolute, it doesn't have, I think it actually works in synergy somewhat with THC, but I don't know.
Sounds right to me.
So if it's derived from hemp, could you just smoke hemp? Oh, no. We don't smoke medicine. Ooh, that could be a problem.
Can we grow?
I'm just looking for the other shoe.
Yeah, let's grow our own hemp, Democrats. Step up, Democrats, because look what Trump's doing now. Now it's your turn. You got to one up that. One up that one, Democrats, please. And I want you to. I beg you, one up it and give patients what they need. Give the sick, the dying, and disabled something. Throw us a bone, and not our own bones that are falling off our bodies.
Look, it's like Republicans and Democrats who are congressional representatives or a senator that need to be drawn in on this. That's a if that's something our president favors. Do you agree? That's a way to at least get them on the record, and then they can soft pedal it back at their will, which will happen. But that's kind of it. I think we need to parlay that into Jersey speak. How does that work for us here? See, we got an election coming up soon. The midterms are a year later, and then the next presidential election is 2 years after that. So while that's kind of good to know, I say, how do we make that work for us here in New Jersey? And to that effect, I was going to go over Mikey Sherrill has a campaign office. I don't know if it's a headquarters or what, or a main one, but in Willingboro, like 10 minutes from where I am right now. So she had a thing going on there, and we still haven't got a clear answer from her, and it's probably not even her fault. It's more our fault. It's about information. It's not about the bill. Never mind the bill. It's about the process of this bill not having a hearing. That's the only issue. And impress upon her that if you're against it, you should still want the bill to have a hearing. If you want to pretend like your no vote has some thought to it, So having a hearing and saying, see, here's what I didn't like, what I heard in the hearing, your vote looks like credible, maybe more so. But to not want the hearing means you're afraid somebody's going to find out it has merit. A lot of merit. And that's what's going on in New Jersey, blocking the fact that bill does have merit. So I'm going to try to put Mikey on the hot seat. I've been working today quite a bit on how to sum this up for her, that you never really have a lot of momentum, and the closer you get to the election, the less momentum you have. It looks like we're about to repeat when Chris Christie became governor, and he's running against an incumbent governor, which is tougher than running against somebody who's had 2 terms and when it's sort of an open thing, So I feel like if she doesn't do something to step things up, we're going to have Governor Chiarelli. And that's not good for cannabis.
No.
cannabis reform, no matter what we just saw. So I'm hoping I can go there. They had an event going on Saturday where people would gather at 12, and then at 1 o'clock they'd go off. Maybe they're going to go door knocking or get on buses and go out to who knows. And I thought, that'd be a good time. Somebody's still going to be there after they all get out. And it would be maybe a good time for me to go in and talk about this with someone. But I thought I'm going to have one chance to do that. So I might as well not hurry it, because I was doing that Saturday morning thinking, I just found out. But I could walk in there and pretty much say, let me tell you how this is going to go. It's not really, it's somewhat of a negotiation. It's not between me and them, though. I'm going to be very open about how the meeting goes the moment I walk out the door. And I want to explain it to somebody, obviously, other than her or her chief of staff or anything. I want to explain it to somebody who's working at that office so they clearly understand. And I can probably, when I say intimidate them, I'm talking about with my longevity in this. If they're under 32, I started walking across the state before they were born. It just sounds so long ago. And I like that better for making a point.
This is a courtesy call from United States.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a stab at that. But the thing is, for her, it's a two-pronged thing, because Jack voted against PTSD being in the program. Does he think those veterans that testified about their post-traumatic stress and the 22 veterans per day were killing themselves after not getting killed in battle because of PTSD? So Jack didn't care about that and voted against it. Now, whether or not he can explain that somehow, nobody's really made him do that. And that's kind of the wedge. But the thing is he'd be hard to trust for anything he might have to say about that. And he'd be hard to trust for me, anything down the line, and her as well. She hadn't earned my trust at all. So basically, I could say I have a backdoor for him about that vote. And I have a back door for him about not, basically, if he was smart enough to say, well, of course that bill should be heard, and I demand that Senate President allows that immediately. Because if I'm governor, I want that on my desk, what was there in the committee hearing, so I'll know on day one or even before what it is we're dealing with there. And while I might be inclined to vote against it, I'll be honest with you, that would be my inclination without a hearing, but I want to make sure. So he could say that, and what would that would sound great, but I don't want to do that because I sure as shit wouldn't want to help him be governor. So I'm just hoping that somebody there takes it seriously, because if she loses, and especially if it's close, then everything I do and say with them between now and that moment will be as public as I can make it. It's not going to happen under other people's radar that she has a chance to do this. That's the whole beauty, And I'd also be suggesting, if she really wanted to look good, to do what the Drug Policy Alliance did after I argued with Rosen Scotty for almost 6 months about doing a $30,000 poll. And when it came back, 86% said we should have a medical cannabis law and 11% said we shouldn't. That ushered in our cannabis law assuredly. It was almost a done deal. When you hear numbers like that, 86 want it and 11 don't, that's a big number. What do you think the number would be for the percent people that want the blockade removed so this bill could be heard? Not even a non-voting hearing. It should certainly rival that. And that would be her cover to say to somebody in her own party, the Senate President of New Jersey, that she thinks that it's time for him to move that blockade. See, she doesn't want to say that now. She wants all the help she can get in New Jersey, and saying that about the Senate president, like making him the villain that he is, that helps her. That gets undecided voters and more independent voters, not Democrat or Republican. That'll give them a sense of, well, see, she's willing to say something to a Senate president who's doing this shit right now in a campaign. If she's willing to do that, maybe we could trust her a little more to not just be all about one party, to like be able to beat up on somebody in your own party when they need it. I would like that in a governor, So, but the CBD thing is good. I should probably take some of that while I'm smoking all the THC I can.
That's what I'm saying.
I have what appears to be, although it's probably as assuredly what it's supposed to be as in the dispensary market. This is more of a gray market purchase because, well, I can afford it. But it really does remind me of the old Gorilla Glue that I used to really like so much. And then they had to call it something else because, that was trademarked. And the thing about the gray market is they don't give a shit about trademarks when they call something, whatever it is. Yeah. Look at that. What are we looking at there? You a model car collector?
This is the Mad Hatter here.
Oh.
That's actually the Mad Hatter right there through that window. People buying weed right there.
Huh.
I'll take you for a walk. I'm going to go out and smoke. I'm in the main studio today, so I have to hold on. Let me get out of here.
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, okay, I didn't notice it till half a minute ago, but blame it on the Gorilla Glue. Yeah. Also, it doesn't appear I can find any evidence of the Canada Business Association's scheduled webinar with Jack Chitterelli, which leads me to believe if I haven't heard anything about it whatsoever anywhere, it didn't happen. And it was scheduled, so I guess I got to put that on my list to give them a call and say, did it not happen, as I'm guessing? And if that's the case, why? And my guess it'd be, well, if Mikey didn't come to do it, maybe he and his campaign thought it would be fair for him not to, which would mean she would be responsible for this not happening. It's not good. It's not. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. Let's see if I can do something about that. It looks like a fun house you're going into. Oh, I got to. For those of you that may be just joining, Lefty is on his way out of the Mad Hatter. He is without microphone privileges at this point. He will be hooked up shortly.
I have a microphone. You can hear me.
Oh, well then say something while you're doing that. Don't leave me sitting here all by myself. Ooh. So you got a Mad Hatter diorama? Or is that a really, really huge laptop sitting in front
Is that cute?
Well, You can sit outside telling everybody about Cannabis Church Sunday.
We're going to go to the cannabis church right now and smoke the rest of this blunt.
Yeah. That's odd. Going to church to smoke.
Going to church to smoke some weed. That's cannabis church.
So, let me mute. I almost muted the cough. Then I remembered on this podcast, coughing is ambiance. There, I was just trying to help you out. Got a bit of discomfort from the 10 stitches still on my shin. I think I'll enjoy the cannabinoid effects.
So this is where we have Cannabis Church here in Mad Hatter. 845 Avenue. Sunday. There'll be a dance bar here at the Mad Hatter.
Do you ever at Cannabis Church talk about potential references to cannabis in the Bible? Or no? I mean, I'm not making a suggestion. It just seems like that's biblical, literally. I mean, to a degree. And I know some people, it could be just, they could be just trying to reach, and get 2 degrees of separation connected enough to say, see, it could be. I mean, the anointing oil, that could have been cannabis oil. It could have been. No, it could have been a million things. Anyway.
I explained to Pastor Kyler about cannabism because during Bible study, I have a Greek Bible that I read along with. And I always do the Greek translations, and there's always a few words that are a little different, and some are really different. Some are translated really weird. And so there's translation issues with cannabism. Cannabism is throughout the Bible called calamus. It's called calamus, but it could be any reed plant, like sugarcane or cannabis. And since cannabis, you have an endocannabinoid system, which Donald Trump just admitted to. Well, since we have an endocannabinoid system, we don't have an endocalamus system or an endosugarcane system, do we? Well, yeah, endocrine, I guess.
So what's the Greek translation? Cannabism? What? Cannabism?
Kanehbosum, I believe it's called. And there's a lot of dispute about this in the church. A huge dispute with a lot of people. If you talk to if you talk to the Healing Church in Rhode Island, they'll tell you all about it. Like every book of the Bible has cannabis in it, and it kind of does. It kind of does.
Well, it does, and which is, I guess, one of my concerns is if it's all coming from what appears to somebody like me to be the same Bible, and there's directly different interpretations of things, then it appears somebody's got to be wrong going home,
Mm-hmm.
So, that being it, I don't hitch my wagon up to any horse like that. But what keeps me in the game here in this area is that in my heart of hearts, I know there's something so much greater and beyond us. Yeah, wow. See, right when that happened?
Hey, it could be AI. It's probably AI. Hey, if you don't know, if it's something greater than you, it's AI.
There's something.
I'm kidding, God.
All the questions that people rely on their faith to answer for them. It's, it's that leap of faith to certain directness and closure of here's what it is exactly. I can't believe that we as humans are smart enough to have any fucking idea what's going on, and that but what keeps me in the game is that it's generally for good. I mean, if you had to follow the tenets of most religions, it would make you a better person than many. At least you might be able to be reached through a sense of guilt. Seems like all religions, you don't want that. But I got to figure it's just something I generally don't discuss, because I did find somebody that I like to watch. It was on Adelphia Cable. He was in Forked River. I'd recognize him if I saw him, but I couldn't get Cheryl to church because she would have liked to have gone to church. So we found something on TV that would suffice, But he was the guy that in his church stuff would say, original sin, come on, you really think going to make everything and set it up and then tempt it to see the results? No, stop that. And I thought, okay, tell me more. And he also associated it sometimes a little bit with astrology, which I didn't mind, but I don't give a lot of credence to when I was born shaping me as it is. So, but somewhere, I assume there's some truth there. I just don't know, can't tell, because I know there's some not true too. I mean, that's what I feel. But then I see people like get through their life considerably better when they embrace something and become part of that community like that. I've seen it happen to a lot of people, so it seems good. I say we let churches stay because I don't know. Yeah, I like Gorilla Glue, man. I know it's supposed to be an indica, dominant, indica dominant. But I got to tell you, it just really stirs up my my brain. And before this, I was doing very good, keeping things in line. I can't call it research. It's just trying to look for somebody's weak points, as in our Senate president. I'm only assuming our Senate president is not up for election this year. Do you know whether or not he is?
No, not at all. Nothing.
I got an answer machine. I'll find out.
I think we're stuck with him for a while.
While you ruminate. Well, that's what we thought about Ed Durer, too. Where the hell did he go? Come on. You don't have to do that. I know I got you in my fucking hands. You don't have to do that. Is New Jersey State Senator Scutari up for election this year? That would look like a solid no. Although he does intend to run for re-election for another term as Senate president. I asked this is AI. I asked it a simple question and it isn't being specific. I'm thinking not. I'm thinking not. Well,
Jim, I got to cut it short today. I don't know if you got my message.
no, I didn't. That's cool. But what about Thursday? Looks like we got an interesting guest.
We sure do. Sounds awesome.
Looking forward to that. I mean, somebody that gravitates from publishing concerns to publishing things about cannabis concerns. You got like somebody like that. Yeah, she hasn't been on yet either.
Do you, you know her name there? You have her name?
No, I don't have any of it in front of me. But I liked what I read. I gotta tell you though, it's I don't know. I got some ideas of what she might want to publish for cannabis concerns. It'll be fun. It's like I love it when people are on the podcast for the first time because we got to be like an easy gig for anybody coming on our this podcast. I enjoyed very much in the earlier, one of the way earlier podcasts, I forget who it was like, so you smoke on your podcast?
Here we go. Sharon Letts will be on our podcast Thursday. So, yeah, tune in Thursday on the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast. The incredible lady, Sharon Letts, producer and writer, cannabis publishing for mainstream media. She fought breast cancer in 2012, and she has a lot of stories. Oh, man. Cannabis was her gateway drug to other beneficial plants. I'd like to know more about the other beneficial plants too.
Yeah, that's always interesting because you don't have to stop with cannabis for a plant that has an amazing effect on. You could use it in conjunction with all sorts of other stuff. I mean, it doesn't seem to have a downside. Why not? I'm gonna start trying some more alternative avenues.
So yeah, thank you, Matt Hatter. We'll see you Thursday for that one, and Cannabis Churches Sunday, of course. CMMNJ, Arlo Glass, UFCW, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org. You can donate to SativaCross.org.
This concludes
No, Wayne, no.
our podcast.
Not yet. We have to do this last year.
Do we really?
It hits me in the friggin' balls lately.
Well. Yeah, it's really nice to have a cardiologist appointment to check up on every half year. And you get tests done before it. And today was my go back and hear all about it. I should have won a prize. Start out with, your blood pressure is 118/78 or something. I said, and then everything. He went right down, it's right where I want it, Good. Oh, that's good. I've never heard anything like it. That means that ain't gonna be my problem.
Nice.
Doesn't mean I don't have
Not your main problem right now.
Yeah, it means that's all. I'll face my back to that problem while I'm looking for the rest.
You have scutariitis. Barry says, if Trump does anything positive for weed, it won't be because he believes in its benefits. It will be because him or his friends will somehow be making money off of it. EFF.
I'd say, Barry, I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, I would add to it that if he also thought it might help him politically, that would be just a kicker for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mean people would like it if I did this? Now what about those liberal Democrats? Yeah, they'd like that. No way. I mean, I can't get excited about it, but I agree. It's he needs to be a little more. I have far superiority over him in following through with things I say I'm going to do, and that should be embarrassing. I am not the model for that. I have a very low ceiling for getting shit done. It's how I am, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I try to do too much at one time. But I agree with Barry. It's
Thank you, Barry. Here is our list. Stick around. These are our friends and family that died waiting for medical cannabis. These are the people that we're fighting for. This is why we still do our protests. This is why we still do what we do. And
I made a promise to number one on that list.
The list, yeah, number one.
I made a deathbed promise. Oh, by the way, people, do not. I don't care how much you love somebody. I don't care how much you would miss somebody. Do not make a deathbed promise to anybody. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can say all sorts of other things. I'll try with everything I got. I will. Something like that. Don't say I promise.
Yeah, don't pinky swear either. Pinky swear.
You can't. Yeah. Well, see, for me, the real quick version is I had to admit when I was told while she was sleeping that without certain intervention, she couldn't swallow, and without certain intervention, she was just going to die in less than 2 weeks, and that would be from not being able to swallow more than a lot of other things. And she's aspirating liquid, so she's getting mild pneumonia. And anyway, I had to tell her that. So when she woke up, I explained things to her that she was going to be with Ricky and Dina and Floyd. That would be her son, her daughter, and her dog. That's three things she missed more than anything. And that was, because I didn't want to say you're going to die. So I said it like that. And she understood and then looked up at me and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey." She fucking apologized to me. Anyway, I told her I was tired. I'm not a tireless activist or advocate. I'm really tired. And some of the things that we did, but what nobody knows is what it takes for somebody who could only move her head in that little bit to get to Washington 9 times, Philadelphia 4 times, New York 4 times. Just doing that, you could fly across the country and back quicker than that with less problems than just going for these car rides that are good, easy for everybody. But anyway, so I told her that, and I said that I really don't think I just can't keep it up. And I assumed she's going to say, "Oh, whatever." I mean, finding out what she just did, but she said, but you have to. And that really threw me for a loop at this moment. I mean, I'm telling her she's going to die, and then I'm telling her I'm too tired to carry on anymore. And then she says, "You have to." Not what I expected, but I already knew it as she rephrased. It's the same thing she asked me when I said, "Look how good this works for you. We can do it louder. We can do it quiet." And she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, if we do it loud, it's against the law. We do it quiet, I can help you." And she said, "But don't you wish we'd known sooner that it worked for MS?" Well, fuck yeah. All right, well, we shouldn't want somebody to have done something for us, like tell us about, if we're not willing to do that for them, for somebody else. That's not how it works. And I agreed in the beginning, and now here at the end, I'm forced with the same logic. Yeah, there are people that and maybe I could still make. So I said, here's the deal. I promise. I'll ask myself in times of should I show up or not. I said, what would Cheryl do? And if I believe that if you were still with me, that we would have showed up, then I'll show up without you and do the best that I can. That was my promise. So, I've kind of done that.
You really did do that.
Well, no, I tried, but I couldn't be effective without her. That was, I don't know, maybe it led me to believe I had more savvy than I did, when in effect I was just always showing up where other people had an unlevel playing field. No, it's not fair. You can't just, it's not fair. It's
Hey,
not.
we're patients. We look healthy. Sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That was it. When I walked in with her, it was like the playing field switched and it was totally in my favor. One time a guy made a somewhat valid point, and all I could think of to do was jump take to Sutton Elf and said, listen, how long do you think she has to live? And he was flustered as shit and went, I don't have any idea. He got angry, which he should have. But that was the difference, and so anyway, I made that promise. I wish I hadn't, because there's a lot of things that I do
and
that I might not otherwise. I want to know what it's like. So home grow is it. Home grow in New Jersey, that's when I am quite sure she would have said, you're good, man. That fulfills the promise. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be really good. It's New Jersey, so I know that. I'm listening.
What was her name?
What was her name? Her name was Cheryl. Her name was Cheryl Lee Miller.
Sabina Rose. Diane. Gracie. Cindy Mae. Marie. Jack. Joan. Randy. Polly. Bill. Chad. Jeremy. Colette. Matt. Troy. Russ. Roger. Jay. Ella. Hattie. Jackie. Anthony. Jake. Armando. Felicia. Lynn. Dan. Sean. Joyce. Lori. Frank. Lorraine. Thorne. Carl. Flo. Brian. Lori. Joyce. Terry. Charlotte. Cher. Jaybird. Michael. Marley. Colette. Brendan. Red. Rico. Lulu. Becky. Lawanda. Chip. Paul. Lisa. Marcus. Gary. Julia. Wayne. Waxy. Joe Marie. Jeff.
This concludes our podcast.
See you Thursday, everybody. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everyone else on Instagram. And see you Thursday.
Well, let me say thank you back at you for having this open forum that you do every week. And leave it on.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them.